booties for Black girl nerds.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Enjoyed both of your performances very much. The two of you represented two very different types of love for Billie. Beginning with you, Trevante, as you got to know more about Jimmy Fletcher, what would you say was his biggest character flaw, or what made his journey with Billie difficult for him?
I like I like what you said. What I consider his biggest character flaw to be, and so I'll say at least from my point of view, his need to, again, personally, I felt like his need to find himself and to discover who he was, and that, I guess, desire to do anything and conquer anybody in order to fulfill that. I think that was probably his biggest downfall.
With Tyler, he had so much love for Billie, but it was almost a little codependent. So what the differences in love? Love is so complex. Is that a better thing? Is it a worse thing compared to what Jimmy Fletcher's relationship was like with her? If you had to weigh them better or worse, Tyler, what is it that simple?
You coming with the heat today. That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I do think an aspect of Billie and Lester's relationship was codependent. That's kind of what attracted me to it. I like these relationships that kind of teeter on the codependent, because that's when you find two people who really truly believe that they need each other. And with Billie and Lester was that to the point where they die within 4 months of each other. But I think another thing that I really liked about it outside of the dysfunction is that we don't see a lot of portrayals, particularly I think it just film and television, but also in the Black community, of platonic love, of how a man can love a woman and not expect anything from her on the other side of that, but just from a friendship point of view, be in lockstep with her and be willing to go the distance. So that's what I found was like really unique about their relationship, and that I liked about it the most. Be it codependent, which it very much so seemed like it was. There was reports that they were always touching because they were leaning on each other, because he was a drunk and she was a heroin addict and had literal issues standing up straight. So if that's not codependency, I don't know, what is. But I do think that there is a nice aspect of this that we can study. Of here's somebody who everybody assumed that they were romantically involved because they were so close. Why do we do that?
And that's what makes it so tragic. In so many broken relationships, the one person who wasn't, say, physically abusive to her was still feeding into a relationship in a not so positive way. And it just adds to the overall tragedy of what her life was like. Trevante, back to you. With Billie and how she lived and the things she experienced, why do you think for artists there's such a connection between darkness and art? It's almost people have to dive into a deeper, darker place when we look historically at musicians and actors and people who live that lifestyle. Why is there such, do you think, attachment to darkness when it brings so many people so much light?
Yeah, I think the darkness that you're speaking on is just truth. I think to be an artist and to be someone who sees the world for what it is, the world is tough, you know what I mean? And so ignorance is bliss always. And so when you're not ignorant, as an artist, you can only convey the world as you see it. And I really think every artist, if you're looking at the world truthfully, you see that it really is a dark place. And so, I mean, and hopefully people get some sense of levity and some sense of light and love from the art, however they receive it. But I think as an artist, as a storyteller, at least from my experience, it always does come from a dark place, because truthfully, the world is kind of a dark place to me.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much. This was such a beautiful film. You guys were fantastic. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much.
nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.